morning, ladies and gentlemen. I go by the name Matapelo Karabomati, till I'm standing before you as how they probably welcome both of Viva!
The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. These are the words of Eleanor Roosevelt that apply directly to us in this moment. Today, in the heart of the vibrant Gauteng, we gather not just as representatives from different provinces, but as family, one united by our deep love for our country and our shared passions for a better tomorrow. I am Sibonga Gonke, chairperson of the Preparations Task Team for the National Dialogue of 2025. And I am with my eminent speakers who are very much passionate about what they have to say to you today. Ompile, Sinakogonke, Jovan, and Dineo. To all the other 8 provinces who have traveled far and wide to be here, thank you for making it. We welcome you in our home ground. Dynamites come in the smallest packages. Gauteng may be the smallest province in the whole of South Africa, but do not underestimate us. We love our coffee strong and our ideas way stronger. So get ready, for we are about to wake up this nation. We all know the pain of poverty, inequality, and hunger. But I want to ask you this. How many of us had a full meal this morning? How many of us went to bed last night worried about where our next meal will come from? How many of our brothers and sisters still struggle to put a meal on their table? John Kani once said, when you grow up under injustice, born in you is an unbroken commitment for liberation. That commitment burns in all of us here. How many of us here feel glad and blessed to have the meals that have been provided to us by the Almighty Omega? A lot, quite a number of us. So now, the brilliant Ompile will take us deeper into how we can use the national dialogue to address and build, as well as fix the issues of our economy for a better tomorrow for everyone. Now, after all, can a lion ever eat grass? Exactly. So how do we ensure that our economy is strong and healthy enough to feed and lift every South African out of hardship? But economic growth alone is never enough, you know. Our nation is one whose strength lies in our unity. As the African proverb says, a society without culture is like a zebra without stripes. We don't want that. With unity comes safety, a right that every South African deserves. Gracia Marcel reminds us, if we are here in solidarity, we must pledge to make our country safe. Today, I say to you, in order to achieve a better and stronger country, we need to work together. And through the national dialogue, we can make this possible. Joanne will speak to the urgent issue of gender-based violence and safety. Violence tears at the fabric of our communities. It threatens the dreams of our mothers, sisters, and children. And I say, how do we stand together to protect one another, rebuild trust, and create a safer nation for all? By coming together, through working hand in hand into creating a big bowl of energy and information to provide in this upcoming national dialogue. This way, we give problems and solutions that we have all concluded as one. Finally, Desmond Tutu's timeless words still echo in our hearts. The power of the people is greater than the power of the government. It is our power, bold, unbreakable, and unstoppable. So I ask you, from the depth of my heart, are we ready to step up, to ignite the dynamites within ourselves, to work together across all differences to build a South Africa where every person's future shines bright? To the future that is in our hands, I say it begins and shine a beacon of light towards the dream that we want to fulfill. She will tell us how we can lift every dream and leave no one in the shadow through our economic developments.
What? What dignity is left when a family must choose between food and survival?
I go by the name Umpile Tumele, and I will be talking about poverty, inequality, and hunger. Without wasting time, let us dive into it. What is poverty? Poverty is a state of being characterized by a lack of financial resources needed to meet basic needs, such as food, shelter, and healthcare, caused by hunger, a physical sensation, and desire to eat. We know that without money, we become frustrated. Why? Because a lot of responsibilities behind us. Our mothers need to pay for school fees. We need to maintain a standard of living. But what causes poverty and hunger? Economic conditions and poor governance. How can tomorrow shine when today's youth have no work? Doesn't make sense. How does poverty and hunger impact us as the citizens of South Africa? Number one, it lowers our self-esteem, which increases depression and suicide rates. Because we start feeling like, what is the reason of me living if I can't provide for my family? According to the statistics, Dr. Solomon, the founder of Gift of Givers Foundation, has distributed over 6 billion in aid across 47 countries over 32 years. This tells us that as a leader, it's not about the position you have, but it's about the changes you make in people's lives. But the question is, how can we use the National Dialogue platform to address such problems and come up with solutions to help our country to grow? Number one, we could invest in technical skills since 4IR will be taking place. Number two, we could also encourage the government to prioritize job creations over social grants like 350 programs. Moving forward to inequality. Inequality is a lack of fair treatment in the distribution of wealth and opportunities. Basically, this means that you are being denied opportunities based on your gender, sex, and race. But what are the types of inequality that we experience in this country? Gender inequality, economic inequality, and education inequality. But what causes inequality? Corruption, unemployment, as well as gender inequality. For instance, men are classified as being dominant. Their jobs is to become doctors, engineers. On the other hand, women are classified as being submissive. Their jobs is to ensure that children are well taken of. This shows inequality. This tells us that women are being denied opportunities to fulfill their dreams. But the question is, what are we doing as the citizens of South Africa to help our country to grow? Let us not depend on the government. Why? Because the government already have burdens to do. What are we doing as the citizens of South Africa using the national dialogue to reduce such concepts? Number one, we could invest in quality education and promote democratizing ownership, whereby us as students, us as learners, we can be taught in a healthy environment and taught such topics so that we can know that we are capable to do whatever we put our mind to, regardless of what gender, sex, and race we are, regardless of what background we come from. I would like to hand over to C. Nakogonke Malinga. I thank you.
Okay. Do the little bit of good where you are. It's those little bit of good put together that overwhelm the world. I quote Desmond Tutu. The topic of social cohesion and nation building is the bedrock of society and a goal shed of aspirations. These are the principles that shape daily life, define identity, and determine the future. Little dynamites am I. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. As my colleague had said, I go by the name of C. Nakogonke Malinga, the first black captain of the rugby team, Springboks. Social cohesion and nation building are critical components of our society. We need to prioritize them in order for us to achieve our mutual goals. According to statistics, South Africa's poverty rate is approximately 55.5%. This is a stark reality we must confront and address jointly. Poverty is a significant challenge that we face, not only as an individual but society as a whole. It's essential that we work together to address the root causes of poverty and find sustainable solutions to this problem. The National Dialogue Initiative has provided a platform for South Africans to come together and discuss the challenges that we face. Through these dialogues, we can identify solutions to social issues such as poverty, inequality, hunger, and GBV. In the Western Cape, initiatives like Kaya Kokoti projects helps in promoting social cohesion and providing support to vulnerable communities. These projects help bring people together, provides them with the necessary skills and resources to improve their lives, demonstrating the power of collaboration action in driving positive change. In conclusion, when we work together, we can achieve great things, promote economic growth, and improve the quality of life for all citizens. As an African proverb says, a single bracelet does not jingle alone, but many bracelets do. As I step down, please help me welcome my colleague, Jovan Pretorius.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we gather for the National Dialogue, Miss South Africa of 2024, Mia Lerax, emphasizes that the importance of addressing gender-based violence and safety, not only in Gauteng, but nationwide. I quote, "As a person living in South Africa, I've learned that with determination, resilience, and collective action, we as a country can face this pandemic of gender-based violence and take it head-on, for it is our responsibility." Good day, everyone. My name is Jovan Pretorius, and today I'm going to talk to you about a critical issue that affects every one of us in this room, gender-based violence and safety. As a resident of Eldorado Park, I've seen first-hand impact of gender-based violence on our community. I've seen the fear in children's eyes when walking the streets. I've seen the trauma of past survivors of GBV, and I have witnessed the devastation that it brings. For we often think of perpetrators of GBV as the villains, but the truth is, villains aren't born. They are made. They are made by a society that tolerates and perpetuates inequality, patriarchy, and violence. They are made by a culture that objectifies and dehumanizes women and children. For in Gauteng, we have seen the cases. We have seen the high-profile cases, and we have seen the devastation that it brings. One case that stands out to me is the case of the baby Nikita, a 4-year-old girl who was caught in this tragic incident. Her alleged killer is her own father. This horrific case shows us that the people that we expect are supposed to protect us are the very same ones that are causing us harm. So to address this issue, we need to recognize that it's not just a woman's issue, but it is a societal issue. We need to challenge our norms and objectives and work together to create a culture that respects the rights of both women and men. For we need a multifaceted approach, which includes strengthening our laws and institutions, promoting gender equality education and awareness programs, which will teach our youth to respect women and men. For as we gather to address safety in Gauteng, it is clear that we need a comprehensive approach, which includes, and to this, we can achieve this by increasing our police capacity, promoting safety that will be equipped with JBV units, and proper training, for we can achieve this. So let us use the National Dialogue as an opportunity to shape a collective vision for our country's future, one that respects the rights of both women and men. Let us use the National Dialogue as a way to create a society that doesn't make villains, but instead makes heroes, heroes who respect the dignity, the right, and the worth of every person. For I tell you this today, it is not the country that makes the people, but it is the people that make the country. I would like to hand over to my colleague Dineo, who will be concluding this vital conversation.
Thank you. As Eoben has said, I am Dineo Mpebe. Tata Mandela once said, poverty isn't natural, it is man-made. Educate yourself to the root causes of violence. Be supportive. Say no to any challenges that might come between your life. Life is 10% of what happens to us, but 90% of how we react to it. From what I've heard and understood about my following colleagues, Ompila addressing about poverty. What is poverty? Poverty, the lack of input that can impact our leads. So it can also lead to the self-esteem and our skills. It is also indicated that in KZN and Limpopo, there was a very high rate of kids suffering from hunger and poverty. But it was misread indicated that KZN was 70% of kids who are going through hunger and poverty. But now I raise my voice and I say 753,000 households went hungry in KZN, with 7.5% of kids that were admitted to hospital. But now I'd love to address the critical importance of addressing gender-based violence. What is gender-based violence? It is a very persistent problem in South Africa with high violence against women and kids. But now I say, women are always found as the target in our society. It can be negatively, it can be positively. But not only women only, but men too. But women are always the victims. That's why I stand and raise my voice. And I say, we can never allow men to treat us as objects. But now we move into the saying of, what happened to the saying? You touch a woman, you touch a rock. Leading to Limpopo with 7.3% of rape cases, Mpumalanga 13% of rape cases, Gauteng 10% of rape cases. But now, as Nakonka mentioned about social cohesion, national building, working together, raising our voice, showing, inspiring, motivating our backgrounds, and showing leading by example, growing a good society, not for you, but for all of us, our society, celebrating our backgrounds, unit, trust, backgrounds, a very unbreakable bond. We can come together and raise our voices. My voice, your voice, our voice. United, we can fight for a better economy. But now I say, building, it's not about bricks. It's about our story. And we are stronger than we are. But now, why should we think about a plan B if we have a plan A? Come on, guys, get it right. I mean solutions. Addressing about the national dialogue, we can address about poverty by making more economic job opportunities, more better healthcare, more education. People that were not skilled, unskilled people could be skilled people. We're talking about creating a better economy. Social cohesion, making community programs, posters, raising our voice, fighting for our community, and making sure that we are united. Gender-based violence, making sure there is street laws, awareness of campaigns, and a very supportive system of victims. Fighting for the next upcoming generation, leading by example. We often tell people how to lead by example. Let me tell you something. Leading by example is to show people how to lead by example, not to tell them how to lead about example. But now, I move into the last part, whereby the national dialogue is a good step towards addressing these issues. Bring different provinces and victims together. We can foster a deep understanding. This dialogue will provide a platform for sharing experiences, developing effective strategy to prevent these issues. I welcome you to participate in our national dialogue. Together, we can work forward, creating a safer South Africa, a safer society, a safer country, not just for Gauteng, but for all the province. We fight, and I raise my voice, that we are going to fight for a better economy. Viva better economy, viva! Viva! I thank you.